Hello and welcome back to SpriteGuard Plays RymdResa. There is still a lot that we have to see in this game. I have been working on kind of grinding a little bit, getting myself more equipped to make it through the first portion of the game alive, which I kind of wish I didn't have to do that. I wish this was more like a traditional roguelike, where every time you started out, you're starting out with basically the same equipment. But I think that there's enough good in this game to check out that I really want to explore it and see what there is, and so I have been working on putting together the ability to do that. So we are going to launch our ship. We are going to take the Venatus, it has more armor and more resources, and so that will give us a better chance of surviving through the first chapter. I have unlocked the second chapter. I have not played it yet. But I want to start from Chapter 1. I want to start from the beginning, because I've talked about a lot in the past about emergent narrative and kind of the story of playing through a game, and I feel like this game is really created around this progressive narrative experience, not really a story. I mean, it has a story, but there's not very much depth to the story as far as I have seen. It's just kind of little vignettes. But there's still this very clear narrative progression that I want to respect and explore, so let's head into it.
The day you died. Watched it explode. Watched it burn. Observed the explosion. Observed the fire. Thinking of you.
So Earth has been destroyed, and we are going through the vast emptiness of space trying to find a new home, and we have been given a mission to find 9 signal locations and explore them. So let's see if we can do that. And we will need to navigate the hazards of space, which mostly so far have been asteroids and stars. I have been killed by both of those many times, so we are going to try to just survive. The other thing that... There's also these mine things that I'm not sure how they got there or why, but they don't do as much damage as asteroids, but they're still pretty dangerous in large numbers. And it looks like we have our first signal location already right over here. Pulsar Anecdote. Pulsing pulsar of pulsing light, sure messed with the instrument of man for a while. Away forward through the space we go. Alright. Oh! Couldn't get away from that. We accelerate very slowly, but that is why I wanted the extra armor. Tick-tock, just repeated over and over again. Nobody knew what time could convert itself into. We can activate a shield battery, recharge ship shields instantly, or we can get an item. Let's get the item. So we got a custom, and we crashed again, and now we are actually pretty low on resources, so I want to head into the inventory and see what we can equip. So we have an engine that it looks like would be slightly better acceleration, but a lower maximum speed. That might actually be good for us. Simply because our problem is more often an inability to accelerate than a top speed. And then this is a cheap data bank of water that just slightly increases our max speed. So we can drop that in. And that's all of the customs we have. Now our hotbar has a slot that we can put something into. Blippo Attractor attracts all stars in a large proximity around you. Let's see. Destroy nearby threats. 50-50, gain max resources or lose your life. Well, that doesn't sound very useful. Scan the area for items. And then what do we have? Let's see. Spawn a refuel station. Make you invisible, or scan the area for stardust. So I think scan for items is going to be the most promising of these. I don't really see myself using any of these in the near future, but it is something that will be good to have. So let us head further into space. Okay, there's some pretty fast-moving stuff around here I want to be really on the lookout for. Boy, I talked in some of my Hyper Rogue videos about creating a nemesis system just through what's killing your main character. And oh boy, fast-moving asteroids are my nemesis. I am going to be really on the lookout for those, and really not eager to tussle with them. With a hammer, an asteroid we've been looking for, I will grab a boulder from the stone, circling, waiting for the right moment. It will be an interesting sample for the sedation indeed. 195 space points, minus 50 resources. Okay. That has put our resources pretty low.
Wishful thinking. Does the new home really exist? Does it really, this planet of hope? It's called wishful thinking, this thing that they're doing. Sometimes I just can't believe.
Yeah, I definitely see a lot of things to be doubtful about. Abandoned dark spacecraft. This huge machine is dead, of course. No idea if I should search it. Keep my course, can't waste time, or search the spacecraft. My experience has been that searching things generally causes a loss of resources, and considering we're pretty low already, I am going to move on. I have chosen wisely. I will never risk time or resources. Plus 165 space points. Onward we go. Oh, hey, another thing. Plus 75 space points. The answers. A space probe. Carries answers to questions asked in a faraway place a long time ago. Now, one thing that I'm really aware of about space, that a lot of space games get wrong, and that this one is no different in that, is just how empty space is. That the odds of us running into something like a space probe is just so small you can't even imagine. Because we're so tiny and space is so big. And Kerbal Space Program is the only game I've played that has really given a sense of that kind of vastness. Hunger. This hunger inside is killing me. Need something that isn't tasteless. Let's go inside and empty the fuel tank. I gave us 73 resources. A full tank. Still hungry, though. And so, that actually kind of whoops! Something came up right as I was trying to accelerate, and I paged it away, and I don't know what it was. But I think we got something. I don't know what. But those events happen pretty frequently. So let's get into this. Contact lost. Satellites that fall from the sky, minus 100 space points. That's disappointing. So I was saying something before that menuing problem came up. It's a little bit frustrating that accelerate and activate menu option are the same button. Good that we have this refuel station here. That really helped us out. That was really lucky to come across that. But I don't remember. I feel like I had something I wanted to talk. Whoops.
Happiness. I remember when I wasn't floating around up here. There was a time before this, hidden in a nowhere-to-be-seen past. I remember me looking up on the stars, having this odd feeling inside. A feeling I think they call happiness.
Alright, yeah, that's kind of consistent with this game's great sense of irony in this game. And that calling happiness a strange feeling. Nova, I got vigor enough to collect juice from this star. Alright. That gave us a lot of resources. Nearly full up, and our next mission point is off in this direction. And hyperspace is actually something that I have not been using that we can... Oh boy, that's a lot of points. Out of context is what it says. So we're going to try and navigate very carefully in between these guys and grab up all of their space points. And that won't quite get us to leveling up. We might be able to level up if I really went deep into that, but I do not feel like taking that much of a risk. I think that the things that we stand to lose are much greater. Okay, even consumption. Gaining more stuff than you could carry, even from empty space. All those scattered materials laying around just waiting for someone to pick them up. So we can spawn a star field, or activate a star scanner. So let's try spawning a star field. I don't actually know what that does. Oh, I think it just gives us these points. I think these are called stars, which seems very incongruous to me, but it seems like this game is, and I think I just need to kind of adjust the way I think about this, that this game is really kind of using the metaphor of space to create this very abstract, poetic experience that really has very little to do with space at all. That's kind of more about a story of a journey through an empty vastness, and not as much about literal space exploration. It looks like we can explore something down here. Let's see. Stardust. Surrounded by stardust, this planet is. A thick, thick cloud of fantasies and dreams. Let's see. We can take some samples or contact the station instead. Let's contact the station. No answer. Minus 100 space points, minus 80 resources. Well, that was not very good for us. Looks like we have another thing that says Vivid Dreams. Ah, and we leveled up. Exploration failed, but we leveled up. Alright. So we can very quickly just put our points. There we go.
You, though you are lost to me, nowhere to be seen, you are my dreams, and you are my thoughts. You are my galaxy, darling. You are my world.
So I wonder if that's referring to the you from the beginning of the game. The day you died, he says. So I wonder if it seems like we're bringing in kind of a lost love that was lost in the destruction of the world. I don't know why this particular person survived, how they ended up on their mission, but it's a good thing that we have, because there is not much else in the world besides us. Still don't have enough technology to activate those, whatever they are. But slowly but surely we will get there. Got to weave our way through here very carefully. Explore that. 53 resources. Very nice. And this is our next thing. Okay. Black hole. A black hole in faraway space. Loads of energy streaming from it. Lucky me. Okay, so we get space points and resources. And now we are on to the next mission point. And that is 3 out of 9. And it already feels like we've been going on for quite a while, so I'm not sure. I may want to pause this in not too long and take a break. I'm not sure exactly how many sections this is actually going to take up, but I think probably it is about time to take a break. I am finding myself kind of getting tired and a little bit dried out, so let's explore these little things over here, and when we've explored them, that will be when we take our break. So let's see. Plasma storm. When approaching this galaxy, my scanners detect a plasma storm coming my way. Too late to turn back now, I need to go around it. Manual steering activated. 119 space points, but we lost a bunch of resources. Still not too much. Whoops! I did not mean to hyperspace, but that has taken us very far away from what we were exploring. Didn't get to explore that last thing. I don't think it's too important. I'm going to pause it here, and in the next portion, which should be going up hopefully in not too long, we will continue with part 1 of our RymdResa exploration. So, thank you very much for joining me, and have a great rest of your day.